I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Alter Ego Comics TV, episode number 145. The last episode of 2013, I'm sorry to say. We've got a busy schedule next week with Christmas falling in the middle of the week, and the following week, New Year's following. God, I can't talk. It's going to be a great episode. I can feel it. Falling in the middle of the week the following week, so we're going to give ourselves a break and kind of regroup and come back at you in 2014.
Like a spider monkey.
I guess. Like a monkey paw. The cursed monkey paw. All right, so we're just going to talk about stuff we like this week. We have a lot out in front of us here, and I guess we'll start with... What do we want to start with? Start with Midas Flesh.
Midas Flesh. Midas Flesh #1, drawn by Ryan North with art by...
Written by Ryan North.
I'm sorry, written by Ryan North with art by...
Those people.
Shelley Paroline and Braden Lamb. Sorry, Braden. This is the inaugural title in the new Boombox line, where Boom uses kind of Foster's creator-owned stuff that's maybe a little more universally available and not scary.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what Josh is talking about.
Ryan North is best known for his work on dinosaur comics, but in the comic world, he is also known for the crazy-selling Adventure Time comic, which has been a big hit. And Midas Flesh is his own creator-owned stuff and is really interesting. It's sort of like Firefly with dinosaurs. It's not like Firefly with dinosaurs.
There's one dinosaur.
There's one. Well, I have to assume it's not like the only dinosaur. He's not Denver the last dinosaur.
It might be the only dinosaur we get to see.
He's a dinosaur who wears a necktie and a spacesuit. So that's all the dinosaurs you need.
The interplay between the characters is very Whedon-esque as far as the dialogue.
Well, and I mean, it's clear that there was some war that's happened that they were on the losing side of, so it's very...
Yeah, they're fighting against the Federation.
Yeah. I assume Jean-Luc Picard is showing up.
This is a Star Trek ripoff. There was Federation, then there was something else that they mentioned that, which is very Star Trek-like. Yeah. But carry on.
Dominion?
Yeah,
Dominion
it was the Domination. It was the Domination
yeah.
War instead of the Dominion War. So... I don't know why we're talking about this. This is a blatant ripoff of Star Trek.
No, it's actually really awesome. It's kind of fun, outer spacey sci-fi, and the sort of title event in it is we see flashbacks to King Midas in days of yore, but rather than going the way it went in mythology that led to our world, the Midas Flesh has a little more real-world application, because if everything you touch turns to gold, things get complicated very quickly. And it's really interesting the way they used it in the book and the way it sort of kicks off how they're going to bring down, or at least get revenge on, this great Federation that has wronged them in their war they failed to win. And it's just fun. It's a fun, light sci-fi romp.
It's exactly that, a fun, light sci-fi romp. And apparently it's an all-ages book, or almost an all-ages book. There's nothing objectionable in this book. The dialogue between the characters is very much like they're in high school. Yeah. So I don't know how old they're supposed to be, but it's
well, you have like Midas and like the other Graybeard King calling each other man. And,
yeah, it's like, what's up,
dude? Man, dude.
Yeah, and so it's fun. And yeah, when they go back, my favorite parts of the book were actually the Midas stuff, the flashbacks to how the world went wrong. And it was not what I expected. I expected there to be some agenda, some Midas agenda where... You know, he turns into an evil king, and that's not the case. That's not what happens. So I really enjoyed it. It was a contender for pick of the week for me as well. So Midas Flesh #1 by Boom Studios, the first of their Boombox. I need to have Boombox up here.
I can beatbox. Will that help?
Do it.
No.
Okay. Next up, another #1. This one is from the guys over at IDW. This is called The Illegitimates. This is the brainchild of actor Taran Killam, who you may recognize because of his odd name from Saturday Night Live. He's one of the more popular upstarts on Saturday Night Live these days. Also married to actress Kobe Smulders. Maria Hill from S.H.I.E.L.D. Yes.
Robin
Avengers.
Scherbatsky.
Yes. Oh, Robin Sparkles.
He is Mr. Robin Sparkles.
So this is the brainchild of comedic actor Taran Killam, co-written with veteran comic writer Mark Andreyko, and artwork by that person. Come on,
Willie Sharp?
Kevin Sharp.
Kevin Sharp.
Al Sharp did, no, Kevin Sharp is the artist on this book. And so the premise for this: a James Bond type character, super spy, started in the '60s, impregnates lots of women. You know, James Bond, at the end of every James Bond movie, he's going off into the sunset with a partially clothed woman. So the premise is, well, what happens? You know, obviously he may not have had protection every time. Who knows? So this super secret agent lives to present day and then is taken out. And all of the world peacekeeping agencies, the British, the Americans, everybody, what are we going to do now? Our top spy is gone. And that's when it's revealed that he has these offspring who are now adults. So what will happen going forward is assembling this team of illegitimate children of the super spy and making them work together. And they all have different areas of expertise. One is a cage fighter / model. One is a mechanic. One is super smart, but she's like a temp and hasn't reached her potential. So it's going to be interesting, I think. It's got humor, it's got the spy action stuff, and it's also got kind of the elements of a team book. You're trying to assemble this team of this guy's offspring who have inherited many of his abilities. So curious to see where it goes next. It was definitely one of the stronger debuts from a non-comic writer / actor. A lot of times actors will just throw their names on anything, or not only actors, but
looking at you, Guy Ritchie.
Recognizable, yeah, God. But yeah, this was really cool. And Killam is a huge comic book fan. In fact, if you search YouTube, I think he was at Comic-Con this year and gave a summary of the first episode of the X-Men animated series, which was very cool. So check it out.
Next up, we have issue 2 of Black Science. This is a new creator-owned book from Rick Remender over at Image, with art by Matteo Scalera.
You do this every time. Scalera.
He's not a justice in the Supreme Court? Somebody else?
Antonin Scalia.
Okay, Scalera. Got it. Not related,
Josh
probably.
needs to watch more news. Black Science.
I do need to watch more news. It's true. Black Science. I would like the first issue, and I actually like this issue even more. We've got this kind of kind of pulpy adventure science stuff going on, and this really brought it into a world where I could understand it and follow it a little better. We see more of what's going on, but we also get more interesting characters and working more with his team. He's got like a Brock Samson type, guy who's going to pull them through everything by the skin of his teeth if he has to, and they come into a... at the end of the last issue, they jumped into another dimension or another portal or wormhole, wherever they're going. And this one is taking them to an interesting world where we've got Nazis, well, actually, Germans. They might not be Nazis. It's not clear. But we've got Germans looking to wear World War I, World War II era equipment, fighting what appear to be technologically advanced Native Americans in, like, mech suits and stuff, which is just wicked cool. So, lots of fun, pulpy punching and science and family drama, and good job, Rick Remender.
It's like Lost in Space.
But without a gay robot scientist?
Josh.
Oh, come on. They knew.
Gay robot scientist?
Well,
what are you talking about?
The scientist was definitely gay.
Dr. Smith?
Yeah, that was him.
Oh!
I'll go off with your little boy.
Josh is having problems today, folks.
That's how they always split it up. They had like the young guy go off with his older daughter, and the robot and the creepy science guy ran off with the young boy.
Send your complaints to support at Alter Ego.
Will Robinson, danger.
Our board of directors will investigate whether we need to
Bad touch,
Josh
Will Robinson. Bad touch, Will Robinson.
Next up, 10 Grand, number 6.
Oh, yes.
By J. Michael Straczynski and this new guy, C.P. Smith, who does everything digitally. And I hate it. I don't like digital art. I really don't, but I'm talking about this because I started reading. I've been a huge fan of 10 Grand from the beginning. I'm a huge Straczynski fan. Babylon 5 is arguably the best television show ever made. I will argue with you about that. That's what that means.
Coming up next year, us arguing about that.
Yes. So I've thoroughly enjoyed it. This is the second issue for C.P. Smith, who took over for the Ben Templesmith guy who cracked under the pressure of a monthly book. And I started reading this, and in my mind I'm thinking, this art is going to drive me away from the book. By the end of the book, I changed my mind because the story is so strong, the writing is so good, that I'm going to stick around. And again, I don't mean to slam the art. I'm just not a fan of that style of art. I'm a traditional artist, comic book art style guy. Draw with a pencil and paper. Forget the computers and stuff. They're already buttoned into every aspect of our lives. So 10 Grand number 6 continues what is a great series. And if you like digital artwork, you'll really dig this. If you don't, the story's strong enough that you'll just overlook it. And everything will be great.
Yeah, the artwork didn't bother me at all. I kind of liked it.
Artwork never bothers you.
That's probably true.
Yeah, that's fine.
Next up, we have